Case Talking Reds is John Gibbons. I'm here with Craig Hannan, and then we're going to bring you all the today's action. Well, last 24 days of action in LFC world. Should we talk about centre halves first?
I'm well up for that, yeah. At the moment, especially.
Well, Big Virg, obviously we signed him in January, and there was some interesting stats came on kind of overnight. First one is no Premier League players. He's kept more clean sheets since he made his Liverpool debut, which isn't bad at all. And also we haven't conceded at Anfield in the league since West Ham on the 24th of February, which is great. Obviously there's been, when people talk about Liverpool, either inside or out, they say, oh, great going forward, but, a little bit dodgy at the back. Do we have to now say, especially with the big fella in goal, that we're pretty solid too?
I'd like to think so. I think the main thing about Van Dijk since he came in is that nobody has talked about his price tag, and he's the world's most expensive defender. Got there in the end, and one mistake, two mistakes from him, and you would expect a few in a row, because he's made a couple of mistakes. But that's the thing about him, is he just bounces back. He's Virgil Van Dijk. He's the best defender in the world. Doesn't matter, aside from Xherdan Shaqiri, of course. But. So I think the very fact that there's been no discussion about like how much we spent on him just goes to show that not just within Liverpool and at the football club, but within the wider footballing world, they've seen the influence that Van Dijk's brought on this side, and it's measurable in terms of the fact that what he's doing there in terms of clean sheets, but it's measurable in the fact that you can see how he commands, and like that. I love Andy Robertson, but I loved Virgil van Dijk shouting at his best mate. We're allowed to swear in this. What was it? He basically shouts like, "Fucking stop the cross."
Was it Manny?
Was it Manny? Was it?
Manny, yeah.
So you can see that he just, no matter what, whether they're 3-0 up, 4-0 up, or 1-0 up, he's dying for a clean sheet. That's all he wants, and that's the kind of winner that you want in defence, that's not happy with anything other than a clean sheet. And yeah, you can see his influence not just within the first teams, within the first team on the pitch, but inside the club, and he seems to get on with everyone, and he's just that leader that we've been missing, I think. But yeah, add Alisson to that, and my word.
Well, it's interesting that Virgil's been talking about Alisson and his presence and how he thinks it'll help the team, and hopefully more of that to come. He's also had a bit of a chat about Joe Gomez, who's obviously his centre-half partner at the moment. He said, I've played a couple of games pre-season with Joe at centre-back, and I have a very good relationship with him, a very good understanding outside of the pitch as well. That helps, and hopefully we can build something. I mean, that's positive, isn't it? He's talking about... the idea is for Joe Gomez, it's your share to lose now, isn't it? He's played the first game, he's kept the clean sheet. He'll go to Palace next Monday, presumably play again, and if they do well again, then Jurgen is the type of manager who will just keep him in.
Definitely, and he'll deserve to. I thought he did well. I didn't think he had loads to do, but anything that he did have to do, he did well, and that's it's probably it's the perfect first game for him to come in at centre back, because West Ham didn't really offer that much, but it's one to build on for him. And I remember when Van Dijk came in and Joe Gomez was asked about him, does this obstruct your does this obstruct your route going into possibly playing as a centre back, because we know he wants to be a centre back, primarily as a centre back, and he said, that's not how I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about, what can I learn from this guy? What can I learn from the most expensive defender in the world? And that's a brilliant way of thinking. And I think Liverpool's problem in the past has been that there hasn't been that leader. So whenever someone like Joe Gomez comes in, there's no one sort of talking him through the game. But you can see Van Dijk will do that, and it's the best way for Joe Gomez to learn. He's going to make mistakes because he's young. We've seen that with Trent. We've seen that with Joe last year at right back. But I'm well up for giving him a run. And then Xherdan Shaqiri has to come back in and try and fight for his place back, and that's brilliant. Healthy competition at centre back.
What do you make of the Lovren situation? It's a bit of a strange one, isn't it? There was a bit of talk Friday about he said that the club weren't happy, and that was kind of taken in a few different ways, wasn't it? Some people were saying that they were maybe unhappy that he kept something from him, or some people were saying, well, the club just unhappy because one of the players injured. It seemed to cause a bit of a kind of storm in the teacup, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It's just one of those things that, like, it's very easy to get annoyed about it, but we don't know the full.
It just shows as well how quickly people can get annoyed with Lovren. Like, I think he's just got one of them faces, where everyone's just like, he's like your mate who just says a little thing and you go, oh, snap at him. And but it's nice. I hope Josh had a good birthday.
But yeah, I think I think it's just because of what's happened before. I think Dejan Lovren's problem is always going to be that the next time he makes a mistake, everyone's going to be absolutely fuming with him because of what's happened before. Like, I'm all right with Dejan Lovren now. I've found peace because of the last sort of 5-6 months, and he did well at the World Cup as well. And yeah, like it's a strange one, but you know, he's quite obviously if he's had an injury and he's in the World Cup quarter-final, semi-final, final. Are you not going to try and play through it? You are. You just are. It's the World Cup, and he might never get a shot at that again. So I would have done exactly the same as him, whether it's in Liverpool's best interest or whether it's not. I would admit I would do exactly the same. So it's a strange one.
So next time you go back to Northern Ireland, I don't want you drinking through the pain barrier. I want you rested up, getting right for the Anfield wrap. You know what I mean? Don't be, you know, messing yourself up on international duty.
I can't promise anything.
You absolutely won't. With Lovren's injury though, and obviously Matip's injured now at the moment as well, and we're all hoping Gomez does well, but it was a little bit surprising to kind of read again overnight that it was come from James Pearce that Klavan might be off, and if they get a decent offer for him, then he'd be going. It suggests to me that maybe there is a little bit of a pressure to get some money back. Obviously, we spent a lot this summer. I think we're the biggest spenders in terms of outlay, and you know there was the Coutinho money from January and things like that, which I'm sure there was still a bit of, but it's maybe a sign, I don't know, I might be being too much into this, but it's maybe a sign that they were expecting to the sales to go a little bit better than they did. The only one who went out was Danny Ings, and we're not getting that money till next summer. Do you think there's maybe a little bit of pressure on him to balance the books, or do you think he's just being fair to Klavan and saying, look, you've been here a couple of years now, you're probably not going to get too many starts next season. If there's a decent move for you, we'll let you go. I
think he's probably being fair to the footballer. I think that's something Klopp's done throughout. He's been fair to the footballer as a human and knows that Klavan's maybe not going to, or he thinks Klavan's maybe not going to get that many games. I would worry because, like, the injury record of our central defenders is pretty terrible. Yeah. You know, you look at Matip, who just can't keep fit. You think, oh, he's going to get a pre-season under his belt. He'll come in, maybe he'll get a chance because Lovren's been, you know, coming in late, and then he gets injured, and that seems to happen every single time with him. Gomez as well, like he's had quite a few injuries throughout his Liverpool career, and Lovren as well. So I would always rather have that extra body, but then I'm not the man trying to balance the books, and I don't look at the finances. I don't care about that as a fan. I don't see how much. I can't imagine Klavan's on massive wages, and I don't think you're going to get much for him. I love Wolsey's written the agenda here. Farewell, sweet prince. Song Burnley away. What a fella.
Yeah, I mean, on the song, I think a few people have messaged me suggesting there was a link between me singing at Ragnar Klavan and then him suddenly deciding he wants to get off.
Oh yeah, there is, isn't there?
Well, I thought you were going to say no, John.
Sorry, no, there's not. No, do you know what? We never put that out. But what we'll do is, if he goes, here's the moment that John Gibbons sang Klavan's song at Klavan, and Klavan just looks at him and says, "Sounds good." But yeah, look, he's become like a little bit of a cult hero, hasn't he? From like you were at Burnley, and you know, all of the talk was.
Well, Jürgen still talked. When we did the interview with Jürgen Klopp, he was like, you know, he came alive when we were talking about Burnley. He was like, "Oh, that was my day," and you know, that was the one for me, and he loved it.
Yeah, what was it he said? He was like, he was shit weller. Nobody wanted to go. Nobody wants to play Burnley, and we went in that way. And he was just so animated. Even after the interview, he was like, you could see he wanted to talk about Burnley away. So yeah, we'll always have that with Klavan and the song as well. I don't want him to go. I'd rather keep him for a bit and then reassess in January. But yeah, Klopp has a bit of a history of ensuring that, you know, he's fair to these footballers, and he might just do that.
Speaking of cult heroes, finish on this part on Shaqiri, creating a bit of a following. Our boy James Cutler was in here yesterday. He's got Shaqiri on the back of his new away shirt and all that. He's been popular, sort of, you know, amongst the squad and amongst the fans since he's come in, and I think he's recognised that something else that will help you is to slag off Man United. So he's come out in Blick, which Walshy assures me is a Swiss newspaper.
I think he's made it up, you know.
I mean, well, even if I have seen these quotes somewhere, so they do exist. I reckon he swear Man United to play for Klopp, and he said this: I've admired Klopp for a long time because his teams play fantastic football and he is a fantastic person. It's important for me to work with him and for people who communicate well with good character, and he might as well be atting Jose Mourinho into that his throwing shape. But look, he's the kind of personality at the moment that people, footballers want to work with, and I don't know how strong the Man United links were. I gather they came in quite late and Liverpool had done a lot of the groundwork, which again is a bit of a common theme. We've heard that a lot with Keita and things like that, where Barcelona came in late and they were like, nah, it's all sorted. So we're doing work early, which is good. We're doing the groundwork, but also we've undeniably got a manager that players want to play for.
100%, and we've seen that throughout the last 2.5 years, 3 years of our transfer dealings, and how they've just been completely transformed under this manager, and he seems to be working in tandem as well with the much maligned but never talked about now transfer committee and Michael Edwards. So I was sort of thinking, like, he wasn't a signing that we were all going to town about, and we weren't, some of us weren't excited at all about him. But then you wonder why there weren't more links. We didn't hear, like, the likes of, he would have been a good signing for something like Everton and Newcastle, anyone like that, anyone in the Premier League. He would have been a good signing for, and there was no links, and it just seemed to be, oh no, Liverpool are interested, oh, Liverpool have signed him. So you wonder how long Jurgen Klopp was talking to him, and now we're all getting really excited about him, and he's doing all of the things that if he was a sort of 40-50 million signing in pre-season and he did all those, we'd be raving and getting excited about him. I think when we're thinking about Shaqiri, we probably have to just forget that he only cost us 13 million, and that he's worth a hell of a lot more than that. And I'm just excited for all these like little cameos off the bench until he gets a first start. I think that was one of the things at the weekend, was just looking at our bench and thinking, right, when can we get these lads on so we can see them as well? And Shaqiri's probably at the forefront of that, just because of how he played in pre-season. So yeah, I think we're all really excited about him, and if he's throwing shade at Mourinho, I'm all for it as well.
All really excited. There was plenty of excitement yesterday in the free show. So for those of you who don't know, and I don't know how, but those of you who don't know, we do a free podcast every Monday. It's our flagship show where we talk about the weekend that's just gone, and obviously that 4-0 victory against West Ham. So there's a short clip from the podcast that was filmed yesterday.
There's two easy things to do, Mel. Talk down West Ham and act like it was really straightforward for Liverpool. Both of those would be a little bit unfair. I actually think West Ham played quite well for the first 45 minutes, but they just couldn't live with a Liverpool who didn't even get out of third gear. And this is a West Ham side that I think could finish top 10 this season, and yet they've come to Anfield. They've been beaten 4-0. It was 2-0 at half-time. I don't think the scoreline flatters Liverpool. I don't think it damns West Ham. It tells us the story of how good Liverpool are.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a great point to start with, because you already hear how awful West Ham were, and that was sort of the way the analysis of the game was framed, which I think is quite unfair, because what Liverpool or what West Ham struggled with was hesitancy. They never, especially defensively, they never quite knew what they were meant to do, and that's born out of what Liverpool were doing. And you can have a game plan and you can think this is our way and this is what we're absolutely sticking to. But in the midst of that actual, when you're in the fire and this attacking hurricane is happening all around you and you're not sure who you're meant to mark or where you're meant to mark, that will force you to second guess yourself, which is what we saw them do quite often. And actually, that was one of City's strengths last season, the ability to make the opposition second guess their game plan. I thought Liverpool were excellent without getting anywhere close to what they're capable of individually and collectively.
Just come back to you on this. What struck me when I was watching it, Mel, was at times West Ham had 11 behind the ball, and West Ham have got 11 behind the ball, and somehow Liverpool have overloaded them.
Yeah.
And that's what I think was staggering to watch at times. Liverpool were managing to find areas of the pitch where all of a sudden, just for a split second, but a split second's enough, Liverpool are 4-on-3, the 5-on-4, the 3-on-2, and I think it's amazing to see a West Ham side who, as I say, at times Arnautovic was behind the ball, and yet Liverpool was still able to outnumber them in areas of the pitch.
Yeah, and that's a consequence of just being so fluid, assertive, and being sure of yourselves as well. Because all the way through, Liverpool's fullbacks want to make things happen. Liverpool have an absolutely ridiculous number 8 who can do everything, can dribble, can get back and tackle, can see the pitch like no one else, can dictate a moment of play like he did for the opening goal so brilliantly. And then you've got somebody like James Milner who continuously defies age and the aging process to be involved in absolutely everything. So I think when people look at Liverpool, it's quite easy to get stuck on that front three because of how absolutely delicious they are. But behind them and all across the pitch, there are people willing to do what they do, as in, put the opposition on the back foot, be aggressive, be flexible, and that's what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, so you can listen to the free show on whatever podcast app you use, or you can listen through our website as well, theanfieldapp.com. So do get on that and do spread the word if you're not listening to the free audio stuff already. It's good, isn't it?
It's get on it. Yeah, I think it's. Mel was on it yesterday as well, and she's always brilliant to listen to, and it seems to have got really good feedback. We're videoing them as well. They're on YouTube, so you can watch them on there. So give them a watch, listen, whatever way you want to do it.
Bit of shade to the other contributors on the show there from Craig. But I think Paul Senior's terrific. And Rob Goodman. Oh,
I'll tell you what. Yeah, no, they're all fantastic.
Anyway, so a couple of other little businesses we wanted to go through, a bit of admin if you like, things you might not have seen. First of all, the Tottenham away game. Stadium's not ready. It was a bit of an open secret. Anyone who had anything to do with it just went, nah. What's interesting, they've already written off till the new year. They're basically saying, forget about it till January. There's an American football game taking place in Wembley on the same day as Spurs are meant to be playing at home, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there and what they do. But yeah, our game certainly will be at Wembley, so a little bit of a shame. Walshy's put here, reckon they've seen how good the Reds are and flapped it. I mean, that is a possibility that they didn't want to get beat 5-0 first game in the new season, but we don't know. I don't want to speculate, but anyway, that Tottenham game that we're playing with them in October was meant to be the first game of the new stadium. It's now going to be at Wembley. So
I'm alright with it.
As long as you're fine, mate.
No. I just what I mean is I wasn't massively excited about the idea of playing them in the first game at their new stadium. Like, I always think back to when we get the new main stand, and that's only just one stand. But how excited everyone was as soon as they got in the ground and looked at it. We're like, oh, it's big, in it. Like, and it was against Leicester, sort of brilliant atmosphere. We battered them, and that was just like everyone sort of buoyed by this like kind of new look Anfield. And I wasn't really sure about going to, even though they battered us at Wembley, but I think if we, we'll have them this year. But I wasn't overly excited. I love Walshy's bit here. Toilet seats not ready. That can't be true, is it?
No, the stadium looks like a toilet seat, doesn't it?
Oh, right, I get you. I thought you just meant like the toilet seats in the toilets.
No, you get that sorted. Like,
Can we cut that bit, Walshy? No.
The other thing as well, the under-23s start their season at home this Friday. It's at Anfield, which is always great for the 23s to play. Friday night against Arsenal. If you want to get tickets, basically if you're a season ticket holder, you can get tickets for free, which is great. Or if you're not, then it's just £5 for adults and less for children. Really good opportunity. I think we saw over the summer just how good some of these young players are. So they might go under the radar for some people, but in the summer, you'd have seen them like Curtis Jones, Rafa Camacho, Nat Phillips, guys like that. They'll all hopefully be featuring on Friday against what I'm sure is a good Arsenal team as well. So do get down, support the under-23s and Kitchers lads if you can. You do need to get tickets though. They've changed it slightly from last season. There was a couple of instances where people couldn't get in for a while when it was at Anfield. So even if you've got a season ticket, you need to get a ticket, and you need to do that. If it's online, you need to do it before 1 o'clock on Friday, or if you can get to the ticket office, you've got till 5 o'clock on Friday. But don't just rock up at Anfield on Friday, even if you've got a season ticket, thinking you're just going to get in, because they don't want to do that anymore. So make sure you secure the tickets, even if they are free ones. But Friday night should be a really good game, and yes, see some of them stars for tomorrow that we saw over the summer. Is that everything, mate?
That's everything, yeah.
Just very quickly, we're going to continue with our merch sale. So it's been 20 to 50% off everything on the Anfield Wrap shop at the moment. It's gone really well, really popular, so we're happy to keep that going a little bit longer for you guys. So if you just go to theanfieldwrap.com, click on shop, and yeah, there's money off everything that we're doing at the moment. And I know that because I'm packing them all. And
I know, I feel so bad. I felt like I've not seen you since the weekend, really.
To be fair, I was really hungover yesterday, so just going downstairs to my lair and just sobbing, packing t-shirts.
Dungeon, merch dungeon.
Just sort of suited where I was at mentally yesterday, so don't worry about that. So yeah, loads going on with the Anfield Wrap. There'll be a little advert now to try and convince you to subscribe to our subscription service. It's obviously a great time to do it, as this handsome man's going to tell you now. But yeah, in the meantime, up the Reds and see you soon. Liverpool season starts this weekend, the home against West Ham. It's been a brilliant pre-season. Really, it's been this much excitement going into a new season as there is now. 2011, the Anfield Wrap's been your companion, home and away supporting Liverpool. We cover every game, we're at every game in one way or another. We're doing previews, we're doing match reviews, we're looking at everything in detail, all the transfer news with us. We're doing as close as possible, instant reaction to all the news and events that matter to you. Throughout 2018, wherever Liverpool have been, we've been as well. We went to Rome, we went to Kiev, and this summer we've covered the pre-season games in Dublin, as well as the tour in the United States of America, where we got exclusive interviews with Andy Robertson and Liverpool manager Xherdan Shaqiri.
I loved the last season because I really felt how we all came together.
Next year we'll be adding even more video content to our award-winning audio content, so it's a great time to get involved with the Anfield Wrap, share the journey of supporting LFC with us.